Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the REDX podcast. I'm your host, Haley Johnson, and we have a very exciting guest with us today. We have a repeat guest with us, Greg McDaniel. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you, Haley. I appreciate it. You know, we've had so much fun in the pre-show. I cannot wait to get to the actual show and drop some knowledge bombs and have a lot of fun with everybody who's going to be paying attention, watching this live and watching in the post. But yeah, I'm super pumped to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. I love your energy. It's going to be a great show. So for our audience that are watching right now, we have Pat just joined in. Welcome, Pat, and a few other people. We have the chats. We have people on Facebook and other groups and our website and YouTube that are going to be filtering questions. So be sure if you have any questions for Greg to put them in the chats there, and we can ask all of your questions to get the most out of today's podcast. So, Greg, for those who might not be familiar with who you are, what you do, could you just give us a little introduction?
Sure, not a problem. My name is Greg McDaniel. I've been a real estate agent here in the San Francisco Bay Area for the last 21 years. I joined my father's team. He's been an agent for 48, going on 49 years in 3 different states, a broker in all of them. We work primarily in luxury markets. And you know what we do is we have a team, we call it the core 4. We have myself, my father, Terry, my business partner, Chris, and our team manager, Eileen Landon. I call her the steel trap because that woman literally never forgets anything. We do quite a bit of business here. We're with eXp Realty. I'm the co-host and co-founder of a very famous and popular podcast called Real Estate Uncensored. And that's kind of how we got connected with you guys. I've been out to your facility. You guys are incredible hosts, so kind, so wonderful. And I'm just pleased to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're excited to have you. Our relationship with you has been awesome. So we're so grateful that you're here to share knowledge with all of the agents that are here today. So sounds like you're pretty successful. I think we could just wrap in just our first question. We send out surveys to our customers to see what their most asked questions are for people that come onto our podcast. And so why don't we just start with this one from... Oh, this is from Randy. Randy asks, what activities do you need to do every day to be successful? So I think that's a good starting point.
Well, Randy, that's a freaking wide open question, but here's number one, wake up. That's your first, what you got to do to be successful. And then number 2 is you have to be persistent and consistent in regards to what your activities are going to do. And you have to be able to track them to understand what your numbers look like. Once you know your numbers of your business, then you'll be able to understand where your gaps are and where you're getting the most amount out of it. So when people say, if I'm going to be successful in business, what do I need to do? My first thing is like, look, if you don't have an appointment, you should be prospecting 100% of your day. But then once you get successful, once you start building your business, the other thing you need to do is you need to block off and protect your time. At a minimum, it needs to be an hour to 90 minutes, if not more, a day of you doing prospecting, or team member doing prospecting, a VA doing prospecting that's going to be successful for you, because those are going to be the activities that's going to put everything into your pipeline. Once you fill your pipeline, like you feel like I have a giant 48-ounce jug here, right? If I was going to be using this as my prospecting vehicle, well, I would have to be filling this thing consistently. Now, a lot of your business isn't going to come until you get to the top of this thing, and the stuff that pours out the top, that's going to be your business, your actual now money business. So prospect consistently. I've been using, REDX for a long period of time, and with your triple dialer, and I use your for sale by owners, for rent by owners, expireds on a consistent basis. Your for rent by owners, I was asked by one of your past employees, Justin, who's a good friend of mine, to try using the for rent by owners, and I'm like, what am I going to say to them? And he's like, I don't know, just try calling them. I'm like, okay. And so I just called them. And the amazing thing about that is that when you call for rent by owner, you have 3 opportunities. You can either help them rent the property, which now you're not going to make a lot of money, but you're going to be able to build a relationship. Mm-hmm. You're going to either, if they don't want to have it rented, you can help them, see if they want to sell it. If they don't want to sell it, then you can see if they want to buy something different. So you have a 3-pronged approach on one phone call. Then you put them into a follow-up program. I use a company called Clever Leads with a K. And what I do is I use your guys' data, and I put all these people in. If they say, hey, Haley, you said that you don't want to sell your home, but are you interested in buying more? You're like, yes, I do. Great. Can I follow up with you? Yes, I can. Great. I put you in a queue. And then with Clever Leads, what we do is that we send out weekly emails, live video, video emails into a landing page, and we follow up and say hi to them with through a text message. So we're doing a multi-pronged approach. So again, I can go deep on this stuff. I probably confuse a lot of people on kind of what I'm talking about. But the number one thing is to be proactive and make sure that you are not sitting back and waiting for things to come to you. I talked to a young gal when I was at my past brokerage, and I asked her what she did for prospecting that day. Her response was, "I watched YouTube videos."
Oh.
Okay. How did that work out for you? And
yeah,
it obviously didn't work out too well for her. So, go out there, don't do doors. Obviously you can't do doors right now, but do the calls, do social media. I have a good friend of mine. His name is Hank Avick, Coach Hank. And he has a system called the 50, 20, 5, and 1. And so what you do is you go out and you on social media, and this justifies you playing on your smartphone all day long, right? You go out there, and you go out there and you make 50 comments or likes or emoji loves or whatever else on people's pages. Then you make 20 comments like, that looks great, blah, blah, blah. Then you have 5 deeper conversations and then 1 impactful, life-changing conversation on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And that's his program. And that's how you become successful. You become successful by becoming relevant to other people. It's that simple. That's a hugely long answer to a question. I apologize.
No, you just dropped a lot that I want to get into, which is awesome because this opens up a lot of things that people can do. You gave us a lot of activities. So I just want to start because another question that people ask all the time is, what is your advice for new agents? Because a lot of our customers are new into the business. They're solo agents. They just don't really know where to start. And I know you said if you don't have a listing appointment, then you need to be prospecting 100% of your day, right? Yep. So let's start there. Is that where you would suggest someone to start?
So when I got into the business, I was a just turned 21, complete wackadoodle. And I'm talking colored hair, earrings, tattoos. I still got the tattoos, but I don't have the earrings anymore or the colored hair. And my dad looked at me and he's like, "God, you're a screwball. You're going to go out and you're going to go door knocking." So I went out door knock. Guys, I door knocked 8 hours a day, 8 to 9 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. Then I would come back and I would write thank you letters to the 5 or 6 people or 10 people that I had nice conversations with. Then I would follow up and do database calls after that. I was a nonstop prospector. Look, you are not guaranteed anything in this life. You are not, you are not going to be given any leads. You're not going to be given any prospects, down the road or today or tomorrow. You're going to have to earn it. And what does that mean? That means get off your butt and go do something, proactive today. I'm sorry, guys. My apologies. But, it's as simple as doing what we just told you. Get on social media, get crazy with video, start doing Instagram stories, Facebook stories. I have a good friend of mine, Monica, Coach Monica, and she has a company called Ghost Poster, and it's no E, there's just an R on it. And what it does is it gives you a crazy, weird thing to post. And you post one funny thing and one educational thing on your social media stories and on your platforms on a daily basis. And I kind of didn't know where this was going to go with her. And I said, I'll take you up and I'll do the posting. And she sent me, the company Ghost Poster sent me an email this morning, and it was a picture of a toilet with toilet paper at the top of the stairs in a house with no walls. And I just wrote, "Can someone explain this to me?" And I posted it out on Instagram and Facebook, and go check it out. If you guys want to follow me, go take a look at it right now. And my engagement has gone vertical. People have all the craziest comments because what it's doing, it's keeping you top of mind that you do real estate. Most agents do not actually tell people that they do real estate. They assume everybody knows that they do real estate. So if you're posting kitty cats or flowers or your doggo or whatever else, that doesn't mean a dang thing. You've got to keep people engaged and get them interacting with you so the communication starts to flow. So if you're a new agent, 1, post on Instagram and Facebook stories every day, 1 business post, 1 personal post. Then I want you to do either a Facebook Live or either an Instagram Live, talking about something that's personal and relatable to you. Like I'm out doing my running. I'm getting back into running, right? So I didn't know if this would affect anybody, so I started posting photos of me going, or videos of me going, holy macaroni, I'm out here running. This is horrible. Who does this to yourself? And people will respond back to me like, thank you, man. This is so inspiring. You got me back in the gym. You got me back out running, yada, yada. But then I post something in regards to business-wise, like, hey, guys, here's a market update. Or here's a funny photo of a house. Or, hey, fill in the blank with, business-related stuff. Then what I want you guys to do is I want you to start working with local businesses, because if you're a new agent, right? Think about if you guys aren't aware of patch.com. Are you guys aware of patch.com?
I don't think I've heard of that.
I'm going to slap both of you. Okay. So you go to slap.com. You go to patch.com and you have patch.com like Salt Lake City, right? Okay. Or fill in your city. Like I have one for patch.com, Walnut Creek, where I live. Most bigger towns will have one, and most major cities will have one. And it's like a digital local newspaper. And you can get information about different businesses in the area, local content. You could reach out to these local businesses and start a kind of a relationship, saying, hey, how can I promote you? Can I bring you on a Facebook Live? Can I come down to your business and we can host something outside where it's safe, and I can bring value to the local environment or local community that you have. It's getting involved. It's being relevant. In a lot of the folks, when it comes to being an agent, they don't really understand that it's so simple and it's literally free most of the time to do this stuff. So if we're talking about using REDX, doing the calls, right? We're out there doing our videos. We're doing a YouTube channel, which I haven't gotten into yet, and then we're building relationships with local businesses. I mean, right then and there, you have a game plan that will supersede almost anything else. My good friend Stefan Indika, he's a crazy fool. You guys have had him on, right? Stefan, all tattooed. I call him. He calls himself an East Coast Jew, so I always laugh at him. But he's phenomenal human being. But he started a YouTube channel, and he brings all these crazy like rock and roll people into his YouTube channel, and they do crazy conversations. But he gets paid thousands of dollars a month by Patreon, just because people are trying to support him. Now, anyone can do this if you want to start a local channel about what you guys got going in your local area. Be visible. And there was a story, and then I'll shut up and let you get to your next question. There was a story of a gal that I coached a long time ago. She was a new agent, and she had her name badge on, and she went to her daughter's volleyball game. And she sat down next to another mother, and they were watching the game together. And the other mom looked over and saw the badge on her chest and goes, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were a real estate agent. I wish I had known. My husband and I just bought a second house. We would love to have used you. And so for new agents, guys, yes, I'm amped. I've had way too much coffee, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is be as visible as humanly possible. There's never been a time in human history where you can go live on multiple different channels and have at a zero cost basis and have conversations, not even to mention, get into the LinkedIn game. But we'll leave that for another story for another day. But I mean, I'll just let you ask your next question, because I could keep going for a while, but I just probably need to shush.
No, I love it. This is great. I love the be visible and all of these things that agents can do, new, seasoned, anyone, right? Because you still do a lot of these things, and you've been in it for a while, right?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I've never met a microphone or a camera I don't like.
Exactly.
I am consistently on this stuff, and I apologize to my friends and family when I first got into the live video. I said, look, you guys are going to be bombarded with me, and it's for one reason. One, I love being on camera. There's something about it. It brings energy to me, but I also loved the fact that I can communicate with people, and I can do something that's going to bring value to another human being's life. I did something for a long time, and so I did it so much and it worked so well, I quit doing it, God forbid. But it was called Mornings with McDaniel, and that's when I would get on the camera and the microphone, and I would come live. I think it was 8:30 in the morning every morning, Monday through Friday, and I would talk about something like my personal video blog, and I would go to Pinterest and I would find something inspirational or information based or something, and I would riff on it for 10, 15, 30 minutes, and then I would exit. Now, I didn't know how this would impact people, and this comes back to being visible. I would have my relatives who live in different states. When I see them at Christmas or Thanksgiving and stuff, they would say, "Oh my gosh, Greg, you know what? I wasn't able to catch the last mornings with McDaniel, but you know what? I watched it on my lunch break, and it was awesome. It was exactly what I needed. I really appreciate it, and I was blown away." I'm like, am I bringing value to people that I didn't even know I'm touching? Imagine the people that are interacting with me and how when they interact with you, what kind of impact that they're getting. Are they being able to then take that positive energy and positive light and bring it over to their business and push it back out to the people around them, and the cascading effect that takes place? And now everybody in the whole circle is better for you taking one action. I mean, it's incredible, but just get off your duff and start doing something that you're afraid of doing.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about being visible. Like, it shocks me that people are agents and people don't know that they're agents, because I mean, and I get the fear of like, oh, I don't want to bombard my database or my family and friends about that I'm in real estate, whatever. But then you risk being a secret agent, and then you lose out on deals. When if you really believed in the services that you're providing, you would want to have that out there and tell people about what you can do different, or especially for like expired listings, or how you can get just provide your services and get people's eyeballs on you so that you can help them, right?
You know what? I couldn't agree with you more with that statement right there, Haley. And I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Stevie Hahn. You guys should probably get her on this show. She's an amazing young agent. She's in Florida. And when I first met her 5 or 6 years ago, when she started following my podcast, she was so scared of doing a video that like she and her girlfriend would drink a bottle of wine and then go do a video, right? Because they're like, holy snozzolas, there's a video in front of us.
Totally.
But now she's on every single video platform you can possibly imagine. We're talking TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm probably forgetting a few. And the reason why I talk about her on multiple interviews is because I'm so incredibly proud of her, because she's the iconic agent of going from like, I'm afraid of my own shadow, to this is incredible, look at me roar. And she's the sweetest. You can see how kind she is in her videos, and people resonate with that. And her business has just gone vertical because of it. And look, all of us are incredible people, but we hide that incredible part of us because we're afraid of being criticized by a lot of folks. Now, we're in a cancel culture right now. We're in a culture where if you're not this color, this age, this sex, this whatever, then you're the Antichrist, right? When in reality, that's not true.
Yeah.
Every one of us represents an amazing person. And if you just allow that amazing character to come out, your tribe will come around you so fast. Your mind will blow. And that's okay if some people don't like you. But I bet you almost anything, you'll get little to zero negative feedback, because if you're bringing joy, light, happiness, and kindness, to the world, how in the heck could someone fight that by belittling you and saying something negative? You're going like, hey guys, have a blessed, beautiful, incredible day. And someone comes back and goes, F you. It's like, well, I don't think that's going to happen. And I would challenge anyone out there. If you went out and you made a powerful, beautiful, incredible video about something wonderful in your area, and if you got one negative comment, let me go at them. I'll take the battering ram to the human being, because you know what? That human being is just having a rough day. I mean, who knows who peed in their Cheerios that morning? Yeah. It's just not the right way to look at stuff. But you will be more powerful than you could ever imagine. But please, for the love of all goodness, just start. Start.
That's something that even I struggle with, is even on my personal page, where only my friends and family follow me, right? And I'm always worried about saying the wrong thing or offending someone. So what is your advice for people that do worry about that? Like, I don't want to, of course, because I'm not going to go out and say something that's going to offend people. Like, I'm not meaning to. I just am, sharing your opinion or sharing your business or sharing your services. Not everyone's going to be happy with everything, right? Especially on the internet, because that's the world we live in. How do you deal with that?
Strategically, there's several things I don't talk about. I don't talk about politics. I don't care if you're right, left, middle. That's not my arena to talk about. Yeah. I don't care if you're gay, straight, bi, you fill in whatever LGBTQ status you're going to be in. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you are that. And I don't talk about abortion and religion. I just stay out of those arenas, because you know what? It doesn't matter if they're opposite of you. They're still a good human being. I have one of my best friends in the world. His wife is the opposite of my personal political views, hardcore. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We still hang out, drink beers, eat dinner, relax, enjoy each other, have really in-depth conversations, and we just don't go down those paths. So when I would say, just look, be mindful of your conversations. If you want to rile people up, sure, do whatever you want. Yeah. But if you just want to go, my point is I bring joy, light, and kindness as much as possible. I bring of education and I give of service every time I try to jump on. And so if you want to talk about the Democrats or the Republicans or Bernie or whoever, great, have those private conversations. But publicly, and again, this is the decision that my father and my mother made years ago. Because my dad was, growing his real estate business, he and my mom made a decision never to put political bumper stickers on their cars, because it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, middle of the line. It just matters of can I bring value to you? Yeah. And then that's it. So that's it. Just be mindful, I would say.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're running out of time here. Greg does have another commitment, so I just want to get to these last couple of questions really quick, and then we can sign off. But a big question that people are having right now, or the whole United States, is a shortage of inventory, right? There are thousands and thousands of less homes on the market right now, and what does that mean for agents? Is there a greater opportunity because of it, or what do you think?
I think there's a phenomenal opportunity. I think with COVID, right now, a lot of people look at it through a glass half empty, not a glass half full kind of a mindset. So here's the thing, guys. This is exactly what I've been doing, and I'm creating tremendous leads on a daily, and I'm talking daily basis. Yeah. What I do is I do calls with REDX, right? So I call through database, I call through expires and everything else. Then I export your data, I import it over to Clever Leads, Clever with a K. And what they do then is we put together customized video landing pages, and it's completely customized on every level down to the coloring. Then we blast that out to all the people with a catchy little tagline. After that, we have follow-up sequences, about 3 to 4 follow-up sequences. And so we get to have a conversation. Either they tell us to go kick rocks, okay, no problem. Or there's an opportunity to have a conversation. And I'll tell you one thing, I didn't think this was going to work, but the first time, Jake and I put something out there, I got a $1.8 million listing, and that's not a joke. Okay. So when it comes to a shortage of inventory, that's a mindset issue, not an inventory issue. Look, there is business everywhere. Everywhere you look, there is business, but you're not willing to look through a different lens to see it. We're conditioned to see it only if it's not on the MLS, then it doesn't exist. No, that's not true. There is so much stuff out there. You just got to go be willing to find a new and weird way to get it. So, if you guys want information about kind of what I'm doing with Clever, because the reason I love it is because you guys have got such amazing data. People always talk smack about data, and they're like, well, how's REDX any different? I said, well, because there's 9 out of 10 times, there's going to be quality content there. We're all going to have bad data in there somewhere. I have bad emails in my database right now. Whatever. Right. You take it and you use it efficiently and effectively. Think outside the box. Be different. Be effective, and be memorable. Mm-hmm. Once you become memorable, business starts showing up, because you're not wet cardboard on a rainy day. You're someone that's a bright shining star, and you're going to bring value to them, because guess what? Everyone's out there fighting a battle you know nothing about. But if you can solve that problem for folks, then you become valuable to them. Once you become valuable to them, they will do business with you, and then they will refer you. So all of a sudden, that inventory question, gone.
Yeah, I think, I mean, a lot of agents ask questions. I mean, even when COVID hit, there was this huge panic of, oh no, I'm not going to last. I don't have deals or this, that, or whatever. And what I'm hearing you say is no matter what, there is business. No matter if it's a bad market, good market, whatever, you just have to go and find it. And I think, like you said earlier, you just have to be proactive because there's a lot of agents that are just going to wait for the business to come to them, and they'll be waiting while you're going out and getting the stuff that they could have had, right?
Yep, 100%. I was having a beer in a bar about probably like 20 years ago, probably right when I got into the real estate game. And I was having a beer with a friend I hadn't seen in a while, and we were catching up, and we're talking about how we're doing, yada, yada. And the conversation led to this. And I don't know what we were talking about, but he said, Greg, you got to remember one thing. I'm like, what's that? He's like, there's millions of dollars flying above your head. All you have to do is learn how to reach up and grab them. And that's the thing. There's millions of dollars flying above your head right now. You just got to look at it and go, how am I going to? Yep, that's mine. Okay. We don't see it that way. We see it black. We see it white. We don't see any other shade in the entire spectrum. What if it's maroon or magenta? I don't even know what those colors look like. But I mean, if you were to grab those two and all of a sudden that can make money. I mean, in 2008, everyone thought the world was falling apart. There were people out there and they were getting $1 billion to go buy homes from big hedge funds. Guess what, guys? Their model was this. It was to buy 3 homes, sell 1, keep 2. Guess what? When they bought at the bottom, they sold at the top. And they took that 1 to keep their investors happy. Imagine the volume of income they made when everyone else was going like, I don't have a listing.
Yeah.
And these guys went after and said, look, people are hurting. I can buy the properties. I have the money. Let's go out there and let's do this, because they looked at their bottom line, what was needed at this point, and what the investors were looking for. Shift your mindset, guys. Everything changes when you look at it in a different manner. Everything shifts.
Yeah, I was talking to Brian Casella on Monday about how agents just want the path of least resistance. They just want what's going to come easy. And I think, I mean, that's everybody. I'm not just agents, anyone in any business. They just like that's why shortcuts and easy way outs are such popular words, because people just want, I don't want to go and get on the phone for 8 hours, or like you said, door knock for 8 hours. In my head, that's like, wow, that's commitment. But so there's money above you. It's just a matter of putting in the work to reach up and get it.
Right. But I mean, back during World War II and the Vietnam War and stuff, we had 18-year-olds storming the beaches of Normandy and other beaches. Now, other folks are looking for the safe, easy way. Why don't we look for the way that's going to be the most effective for you, and the way that's what your true path is? If you want to battle it out on the beachfront, or if you want to go a different direction, that you stay home and go to a concert, Summer of Love or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever your true value is, go follow your path. And you know what? It might be hard, it might be easy, but nothing great is going to come to you by doing the easy way. I will guarantee you that.
I like that, like a mindset shift of easy to effective. And it might not be, it might not take like blood, sweat, and tears, but it'll be effective, and whatever works for you works for you.
Right. I mean, you don't have to do what I did. You don't have to go door knocking, 8 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. So actually, I did it for 7 days a week when I was really hustling, when I was down to $35 to my name, and everything else, and broke as a joke, and bankruptcy and foreclosure and the whole 9. But I'll tell you one thing. Guess what? We all have this thing. It's called a smartphone. It's in our pockets. This is your digital prospecting model right here. Use the REDX data, use the REDX system, do the videos, get it visible, make sure people know who you are, what you do, why you do it, what your values are. And guess what? That can be your easy way right here. But a lot of people won't do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some people just will not do it. Doesn't matter how simple it is.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I have gotten a lot just for myself about mindset and being effective and productive and proactive. So thank you so much. It's been 30 minutes, but it's been very impactful. And I think a lot of agents will find a lot of value in this. So thank you so much, Greg, for joining us again. I'm sure you'll be on again in the future. We love working with you. So thank you. And thank you to Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you for having me. I love hanging out with you guys. I wish I had another 30 minutes because I got so much more. I literally have stuff spread on my desk right now that I'm like, dang it, we didn't get to this.
Yeah,
But I'm great. If you guys want me to come back on, I absolutely will. But it's been a true pleasure and a blessing, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. And thank you to our audience for tuning in again. We will be back here on Friday, so make sure that you tune in at 1:30 Mountain Time, and we will see you then. Thank you.